Adventures by Morse. Carlton E. Morse presents The City of the Dead, featuring Captain Friday.
If you like high adventure, come with me. If you like the stealth of intrigue, come with me. If you like blood and thunder, come with me.
2 o'clock on the morning of the third day in the City of the Dead. 3 nights and 2 days have been spent in this old abandoned cemetery. This is the morning of the third day. But let Captain Friday tell you.
At midnight, we were asleep in the cottage of my father, Mayor Friday, who's caretaker of the old cemetery. Then there came the disturbing wails of the old clawfoot phantom. I got up, and with Jimmy Parker went out into the night. Almost immediately, we stumbled onto a trail of bones that led us among the tombstones down into the City of the Dead. It led to a grave upon whose headstone had been placed a skull. It was a freshly opened grave, and there was a man down in it, digging.
So much for that. In the meantime, Dr. Tooner had been left at the cottage with Phyllis Carroll, kept abed by her knife wound. Also, the old mare was supposedly asleep in one of the bedrooms, locked in by Captain Friday, so that he would not be disturbed. Dr. Tooner became frightened when old Clawfoot began to prowl outside the door and broke into Mayor Friday's room, only to find that he was not in the locked room at all. And then the Clawfoot creature took measure in his own hands. He broke into the front door, overwhelmed Dr. Tooner, and came to the bed beside the girl. When it reached toward her, she cried out and lost consciousness. It is now 2 a.m, and we are down in the City of the Dead, where Captain Friday and Jimmy Parker are watching the ghoul at work in the grave. The grave of old Ernie Morton.
Get down, Parker. Down on your face and keep still. Did you see who it was digging in the grave, Captain? Keep still, I tell you. Not a move out of you. Don't even raise your head to look. Why so mysterious? Who is it? Never mind. You do as I say. Keep down here behind this tombstone. Here, where you going? Keep still. Now, listen. I'm going to sneak out alone. Yeah, but... Be quiet. I'm going out alone because it'll make less noise. He's down in the grave now. I want to catch him red-handed. Well, I think that's a fool idea. Let me go along. You do what I tell you, Parker. Yeah, but he'll be desperate. He's liable to be the killer. I can take care of myself. Now, mind you, do what I say. Don't move a muscle until you hear me yell. I'll yell when I jump him. I don't like it. That doesn't make any difference. Remember now, wait until I yell.
Jimmy. Jimmy. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, my shoulder. Oh, my shoulder. Oh, Jimmy. Where am I? What's happened to me? The Clawfoot. The Clawfoot was here. Oh, Jimmy, what's happened to you? Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
Phyllis. Why, Phyllis, what's happened? What's been going on here?
Where have you been? Why have you been gone so long? Why are you so white? What's happened?
Nothing. Nothing that matters now. Tell me, what's been going on here? Where's Doc Tooner?
He's over there behind those overturned chairs. Jimmy, he's dead.
Dead?
Jimmy, the Clawfoot Phantom's been here.
Phyllis.
Dr. Tooner tried to drive him out, and the thing killed him.
Phyllis, are you sure Dr. Tooner's dead?
Oh, please don't leave me.
I'm not going to leave you. I want to see if there's anything I can do for the doctor.
I know he's dead, Jimmy. I saw him fall.
No. No, he's not, Phil. No, he's not dead. He's still breathing.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Oh, wait, I'll get him on the lounge. I don't think he's very badly hurt. There. Looks to me like he's just been knocked out.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What a fight there must have been. This place is a wreck, everything upside down.
Yes, it was pretty bad.
And what happened after old Clawfoot knocked the doctor out?
It turned on me. It made a little mewing wail. I never felt so awful in my life.
Mewing wail? Phyllis, what are you saying?
It was just like that, Jimmy. Just as though it was an animal that was glad to see me.
Oh, for goodness sake.
It crept toward me, wailing a little soft wail. Oh, Jimmy, I can't tell you how terrible it was. It just kept coming closer and closer.
And you couldn't move.
I screamed at it to go away. I begged it not to come near me, but it kept coming on and on. And then suddenly it was over me. It stretched out a lean claw hand.
Oh, Phil, dear.
And then I fainted.
Ah, you poor kid. I thought you'd be safe here. I'd never let you.
I just came to. Just a moment before you came in. The thing was gone.
I wish I knew what to do about Doc Tuna there.
You're certain he isn't dying?
No, he's not dying. Just a bump on the head. He'll be around presently. Hey, where's Mayor Friday? Who broke open his door? I forgot all about him.
We don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
We don't know what's become of him. When old Clawfoot began to wail outside, Dr. Tooner broke in the door to awaken him. But the mayor wasn't any place in the room.
Yeah, but that's silly, Phil. We saw Captain Friday lock his father in.
He wasn't there. He vanished.
Vanished from a barred and locked room?
And I've got to lie here in this miserable bed with my shoulder hurt. Oh, what if something should come after me? I couldn't run. I couldn't do anything.
Don't you worry about that, Phil. I'm not moving from your side from now on.
But what about you? You were so white when you came in. Something's happened. Why don't you tell me?
Oh, what do you mean, Phil?
You're holding something back. What happened out there in the city of the dead? Why were you so white when you ran into the house? Where is Captain Friday?
Well, Phyllis...
Has something happened to the captain?
Now, Phyllis, you've got enough to worry about. Don't bother your head about it.
It's Dr. Tooner.
Yeah, still
He's
unconscious. Yeah, he's still unconscious, but he'll be around pretty soon now.
Oh, Jimmy Parker, you tell me what happened. You've got to tell me. Is he dead? Is Captain Friday dead?
No. That is, I don't know.
You don't know? Well, weren't you with him all the time? Oh, Jimmy, don't put me off.
I'm not putting you off, Phyllis. Honestly, I don't know.
Then...
Phil, Captain Friday's vanished.
Vanished? Captain Friday's vanished? Oh, Jimmy.
Now, Phyllis, don't give way. Please don't.
Oh, but first the mayor disappeared, and now his son. Jimmy, do you think we're to be next?
Of course not.
But think of what's happened. First it was my cousin, Bert Arnold. They strangled him and threw him in an old grave.
Oh, don't talk about it, Phil. It'll only make you feel worse.
And then that stranger was stabbed to death outside your window.
Well, we know old Clawfoot did that. We saw him.
And then Lammy Fink, frightened to death. What is there in the world that could frighten a person to death?
Well, that old caretaker was always scared of a cemetery at night, you know that.
But what a horrible way to die. I've heard that a person's heart sometimes bursts wide open with fear. Did you ever hear of that, Jimmy?
No, of course not. Stop it now, Phil. You're frightening yourself sick with this kind of talk.
And then Mayor Friday vanished from a barred room.
Oh, Phil, I tell you...
And now Captain Friday. Tell me, Jimmy, how did Captain Friday disappear? How did it happen?
Oh, listen here, Phil. Wait until morning, won't you? Wait until daylight and I'll tell you all about it. It'll only be a few hours now.
No, I want to hear now.
But Phyllis, it's not a nice story.
Tell me now.
Well, I left the house and went to the shed where we laid out the skeleton.
The skeleton with the message tied to it, saying it wasn't my grandfather?
Oh, Phil, I wish you wouldn't.
Go on, Jimmy.
Well, the skeleton was gone.
Gone? The skeleton, too. The mayor, the captain, and now the skeleton.
Yes, the skeleton was gone. We were looking about outside the shed when I ran across the bones of its foot.
Its foot?
Yes. Just a little further down into the city of the dead, and Captain Friday found its ankle bone.
What? Well, that's strange. What did that mean?
We didn't know at first. But presently we found leg bones and most of the rest of the skeleton scattered out ahead of us. It was a trail of bones, Phyllis.
A trail of bones?
Yes, a trail of bones leading us down into the city of the dead. Leading us down to a grave.
Any particular grave?
The grave of Ernie Morton.
Ernie Morton?
The grave we opened in search of the Black Pearls.
Oh, Jimmy.
The grave in which the strangled body of your cousin Bert Arnold was found.
Oh, what does it mean? What is it?
And Phil, When we got down into the city of the dead, there, perched on the headstone of Ernie Morton's grave, was the grinning skull of our skeleton. And that isn't all.
Yes?
Phyllis, there was someone digging in that grave again.
Jimmy.
Yes, someone digging. Digging. He didn't see us. We threw ourselves down in the shadow of a tombstone. It was brilliant moonlight.
Who was it?
I couldn't tell. I don't know. Captain Friday made me lie flat. I couldn't see a thing. All I could hear was the shoveling. Shoveling of the ghoul in Ernie Morton's grave.
Then what happened?
Captain Friday was peering around the edge of the tombstone. Suddenly he called my name and dropped back to the ground.
You saw who it was?
That's what I thought, but if he did, he wouldn't tell me. He said he was going out after the fellow and that I was to lie still until he yelled. He said he would yell when he leaped into the grave on the man, and that was my signal to come to his aid.
Why didn't you go with him?
Well, I wanted to, but he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't even let me raise my head to watch him while he sneaked up on the grave.
Why?
I don't know. Then he slipped out, and I waited. I waited. Pretty soon I heard the shoveling stop. I got ready to jump to my feet. I expected the captain to yell any second, but there wasn't any yell. I waited a few seconds longer, and then I raised myself and looked over the top of the gravestone.
Yes, Jimmy?
Phyllis, there wasn't a sign of anyone any place around.
Jimmy!
It's as true as anything I ever said in my life. Captain Friday had vanished. The gravedigger had vanished. Even the shovel had gone. I rushed to the edge of the half-uncovered grave and looked everywhere. There was nothing.
Oh, Jimmy, I couldn't have done that.
I stood there in the moonlight at the edge of the grave, petrified for a moment. Then I yelled until my lungs hurt. And all I got from my trouble was a lot of echoes. Echoes coming up from the ruins of the old church. Echoes and the faint sounding of that phantom church bell.
I couldn't have stood it.
Then I got sick, and I got away from the edge of the grave and started to run. It's more than a mile, but I ran the whole way back here to the cottage without stopping.
No wonder you were white and out of breath.
And when I came in the door and found everything so upset and you so frightened, it brought me to my senses. I think the doctor's coming too, Phyllis.
Get a pan of cold water, Jimmy. Bathe his head.
Yeah, okay. Watch him, Phil. If he starts to move around, yell. I don't want him to fall off the lounge.
He's all right. Only hurry.
Coming. Now we'll fix him up. Poor old guy. Yeah, this cold water will help that head. You know, Phil, this is pretty rough treatment for a man as old as Doc Tuner.
It's pretty rough treatment on any of us. And, Jimmy, just as sure as anything in this world, this is building up to something.
Yeah. I suppose everything has a payoff.
I just hope that payoff won't end up in a funeral parlor. That's all I hope.
The old mare missing, Captain Friday missing. The prowling of old Clawfoot is building up to something more surely than Phyllis Carroll can know. And on the next appearance of one of these three, who is even now making his way between the moonlit headstones toward the cottage. But more of that in just a moment.
Oh, my head.
No, he's coming to all right, Phil.
I'm awfully sorry about him. He's been so kind to me.
My head.
And the mayor keeps some stimulant around here somewhere. I think a little something would do him good.
I saw it on the lower left-hand shelf in the kitchen cupboard, Jimmy.
Oh, good. I'll get it.
Did you find it, Jimmy?
Yeah, I got it. This'll snap him out of it. Here now, Doc. Try and drink this. That's put color in his face. He's opening his eyes, Phil. Hello, Doc. Feeling pretty bad?
What is it? What's the matter?
Just a little bump on the head, Doctor. You'll be all right in a minute.
Bump on the head? How did I get a bump on the head?
Oh, don't remember, huh? Old Clawfoot slugged you.
Clawfoot. Clawfoot, I remember. He was after Miss Carroll. Did he get her? Did he get her?
I'm all right, Dr. Tuner. Honest, I am. Don't you worry about me a bit.
Oh, I shouldn't have let that thing get the best of me. I guess I ain't as young as I used to be.
Well, don't you worry about that. You put up a good fight. Phyllis told me all about it.
I'm still a good fighting man, Parker. I'd have brained that thing with the poker if my foot hadn't slipped. That's what was the matter. My foot slipped.
Yeah, of course, Dr. Tuner. That's the way it happened. Now, you just lay back and rest a while.
Say, Parker.
Well?
You know, I'm feeling kind of dejected like. I think I could do with another spoonful out of that bottle.
Oh, that's right, sir. I'll bet you could. Just a minute, I'll fix it for you. Here you are.
Oh, thanks, Parker.
Yeah, that's all right.
Now, you just lie still for a bit until you feel stronger.
Jimmy, could I have a drink of water?
Oh, sure thing. Now, I'll have it for you in a jiffy. Here you are, Phil.
Where's Captain Friday, Parker?
He hasn't come in yet.
What's he doing out meandering around the city of the dead this time of night?
Oh, he'll be in when he gets ready.
What gets me is what that old clawfoot critter wanted in here. I reckon he didn't come for Miss Carroll after all, seeing as he went away without hurting her none. Did you see what he did after I was knocked out, Miss Carroll?
No, Dr. Tuner. He came toward me and I fainted.
Oh, fainted, huh?
Yes, and he was gone when I came to.
And you ain't noticed anything different since you waked up? Anything about the room or anything in the room?
Why, no.
Funny. What do you suppose he wanted, Parker?
I don't suppose he wanted anything. Probably the midnight ramblings of a mad creature. I think you and Phil were lucky to get off with your lives.
Listen.
The phantom church bell again. I wonder if it's going to begin all over.
Begin over again? What do you mean?
I mean, I wonder if we're going to have more trouble with old Clawfoot tonight.
Oh, Jimmy, would you please look out of the window and see if anything's outside?
Oh, of course, Phyllis. Hey, Dr. Tuner, what are you doing? You lie down there.
No, sir. I reckon I'm feeling a mite sprier than I did. I guess I'll be moving about a bit.
Yeah, but you had a nasty blow on the head.
Well, you don't want me to stay in bed the rest of my life just because you bumped my head, do you, Parker?
No, of course not. Not if you feel like getting up.
There goes the bell again. Oh, please look out of the window and see if that thing is around again.
I don't suppose I'll be able to see much.
Shh. Someone on the porch. Yeah, someone on the porch.
Listen. Shh. He's coming up to the door.
Is it bolted?
Yes, I locked it.
I don't want it to come in here. I couldn't stand seeing it again.
Shh, Phil. Doc and I can take care of you. I wouldn't mind having a gun.
Yeah, that's what I wished for on his last visit.
Here. You take the leg of this broken chair. I'll handle the poker. Shh, shh. Hello! Who's there?
Mean disposition, whoever he is.
Oh, Jimmy, I'm so afraid.
Hi, you out there! You better answer if you know what's good for you.
That's right. We're two against you. You ain't got a chance.
Doc Tuner, is that you?
It's Mayor Friday. Will that be? Sure, it's me, Mayor. Here, unlock that door and let the mayor in.
Dr. Tuner, are you certain it's the mayor?
Certain? Of course I'm certain. Go on, open the door, Parker. Yeah, what did I tell you? Of course it's the mayor.
Well, why shouldn't it be me? What in tarnation you going to lock me out for?
Well, why didn't you answer instead of tromping up on the porch and banging on the door without a word?
Because I ain't used to asking for permission to enter my own house. What in the Sam Hills happened here anyway? Who broke that chair? Who smashed in that door?
I reckon it couldn't be helped, Mayor. We had a little visit from old Clawfoot while you were out.
Clawfoot?
I reckon so.
By the way, Mayor Friday, where have you been all night?
Curious young squirt, ain't you, Parker?
Perhaps so, but a lot of things have been happening around the city of the dead tonight. And I think you can throw light on a great deal of it.
What's been happening?
Well, to begin with, we all saw Captain Friday lock you in that room there before he and I went out into the city of the dead.
You saw the captain lock me in?
That's right, Mayor. I reckon we all saw him do it.
Doc, you saw him lock me in?
I reckon that's right, Mayor.
Well, when was that, Doc?
Just before he and young Parker here went out. I reckon it was something about like midnight, Mayor.
Oh.
How'd you get out, Mayor Friday?
Where's the captain, Parker?
Why, he vanished.
Vanished?
Yes. We went down into the city of the dead together and, well, he disappeared.
You mean something's happened to my son, Parker?
I'm sorry, Mayor Friday. I don't know what happened to him. You see, we found someone digging in Ernie Morton's grave.
Ernie Morton's grave?
Yes. Captain Friday made me lie down behind a tombstone while he crept up to the grave. He told me to wait until he shouted.
Well?
He never shouted.
Didn't shout?
No. I waited as long as I thought it wise, and then I followed.
What did you see?
Nothing. Captain Friday had vanished, and so had the fellow that had been digging.
Did you see who it was in that grave?
No. When I got to the edge of the grave, there was nothing but a partly filled hole.
That's a likely story, young man.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, I reckon I know better than that.
Well, what do you mean?
Just what I say. It just happens that I came up through the city of the dead right by Ernie Morton's grave not half an hour ago, and that grave ain't been touched.
Maybe, though, you filled up the grave before you came in.
No, I left it just as it was. You say it's filled up now?
Reckon it ain't been opened this night.
Well, I tell you, it was open.
And I tell you, Parker, if you killed my son, it's going to be the last sneaking thing you do.
That's the most asinine statement I ever heard.
Oh, another country heard from.
Phyllis is right. It is asinine.
Now, look here, Mayor. Are you certain Ernie Morton's grave hasn't been dug into?
I'll take you down there if you can't take my word for it.
No, if you say so, Mayor, it's so. But look here, Parker ain't been acting like my idea of a killer.
You're an old fool, Doc Tuner. How do you know how a killer acts?
Now then, Mayor, you can't make me believe that you think the captain's dead. I ain't lived around you 40 years for nothing. If you really thought anything had happened to that boy...
You keep your thoughts to yourself, Doc Tuner.
But Mayor Friday, why would Jimmy do a thing like that? He hadn't any reason. Honestly, he didn't.
The captain was getting too much on him. Of course he had reason. Plenty of reason.
Oh, no. Honestly, Jimmy wouldn't hurt anyone. Honestly.
There now, Miss Carroll.
Oh, Phil, don't cry. It's all right.
Oh, but you didn't.
Now, Miss Carroll, you've gone and made yourself unhappy again. You've had too much trouble tonight.
Oh, but Dr. Tuner, you know Jimmy wouldn't hurt anybody, don't you?
Well, yes, of course. Here, now, you let me straighten out your pillow for you.
But the mayor said
There, now. Let me lift you up a little. There, now I can fix that pillow. I'll give you a powder that'll put... Hello. What's this under your pillow?
Why, I don't know.
Look here, Mayor, Parker, look. Look what I found under Miss Carroll's pillow.
What is it? Let me see. What have you got there, Dr. Tuner?
A black pearl. A black pearl.
Jumping Jerusalem. Did you ever see anything like it? A black pearl as big as a pigeon's egg.
But where'd it come from? Dr. Tuner, where did you get it?
I found it under Miss Carroll's pillow, just where I said I found it.
Phil, where did you get it?
I don't know. It isn't mine. I never saw it before.
But it was under your pillow, young woman.
I don't care. I never saw it before.
Ain't it a beauty? One of old Theodore Beverly's collection as sure as you're born.
But it's uncanny. How did it get under my pillow?
Well, one thing's certain now anyway.
What's that, son?
That somebody has found the pearls. Their whereabouts is no longer a secret to somebody.
And to someone in this group.
How do you figure that out, Mayor?
Because we're the only ones who've had an opportunity of placing the pearl under the girl's pillow.
Old Clawfoot. It was old Clawfoot.
By jiggers, I wonder.
Of course it was old Clawfoot. We were wondering why he broke into the place. He didn't take anything, didn't hurt anyone more than was necessary to carry out his mission.
Sounds reasonable.
Well, of course. If Phyllis hadn't fainted, I'll bet he'd have put the pearl right in her hand.
Jimmy, do you really think so?
I'll bet money on it.
But why? Why?
I don't know. Just the same, I'll bet it was he. I know it was.
You seem awful anxious to convince us, Parker.
What do you mean, Mayor?
I mean, I don't think Clawfoot had anything to do with that pearl.
Oh? Well, what's your theory?
I think you put that pearl there.
What? Me?
Yes. I think that pearl explains why the captain didn't come back to the cottage with you, James Parker.
But I don't understand.
Oh, yes, you do. In some manner, you and my son hit on the hiding place of them black pearls tonight. And it didn't suit your purpose to have anybody but yourself know about them.
You're crazy.
Well, maybe I am and maybe I ain't. But just the same, young fella, I ain't taking any chances. You're going in that there bedroom of yours, and you're going to stay there until we can turn you over to the police.
But you can't do that. You mustn't.
Look here, Mayor, that's absurd. Why on earth would I give myself away by bringing one of the pearls here to the cottage?
You couldn't resist the temptation of bringing one along to show to the girl. Likely you and her was looking at it when Doc Tuner came to. You didn't have time to hide it, so you stuck it under her pillow.
No. I never saw it before. Honestly, I didn't. I swear it.
Now, don't you go getting all excited again, Miss Carroll.
What's the matter with you, Mayor Friday? Why don't you give me a break? You're always making me the goat for everything. What have you got against me? I've never done anything to you.
That won't do you no good, Parker.
Well, you know what I think of you.
With as much circumstantial evidence against you...
Circumstantial evidence? I'd like to know if there's anyone in the world that's got more against them than you.
You went out of this house with my son, and you came back alone. That's enough for me.
Look!
What? Are you pointing at me?
Yes, I'm pointing at you. Look, there in his vest pocket.
Jimmy, what is it? I don't see anything.
Must be losing his mind. What's the matter with you?
Look at that gold pencil in his vest pocket. That's Captain Friday's pencil.
You mean...
Captain Friday had that pencil in his pocket when we left the house tonight.
What? What's that?
And look at the fresh dirt on the knee of the mayor's trousers.
Oh, Jimmy.
Mayor Friday, supposing you tell us what's become of your son, Captain Friday.
There have been many clues pointing to old Mayor Friday of the City of the Dead all along. But now, had he finally hanged himself? And was it Clawfoot who left the Black Pearl for Phyllis? Not only these questions, but the whereabouts of Captain Friday will be brought to you next week when Carlton E. Morse presents Chapter 8 of The City of the Dead, entitled The Kidnapping of Clawfoot. Adventures by Morse. Carlton E. Morse presents The City of the Dead, featuring Captain Friday.
If you like high adventure, come with me. If you like the stealth of intrigue, come with me. If you like blood and thunder, come with me.
"4:00 on the morning of the third day in the City of the Dead. 4:00, the dead black hour, just before dawn in this old abandoned cemetery. The night has already brought fear, mystery, and sinister implications. At midnight, Captain Friday and Jimmy Parker had slipped out of the caretaker's cottage, had picked up a trail of human bones, had finally come upon a ghoul digging in the grave of Ernie Morton. While Captain Friday and Jimmy were about this nocturnal business, old Clawfoot broke into the cottage, overpowered Dr. Tuner, and frightened Phyllis Carroll into a fainting fit. But let Jimmy Parker tell what happened then.
Well, first, Captain Friday made me lie behind a gravestone while he approached the ghoul in the half-open grave. It was too dark to see what was happening. But the next thing I knew, there was a terrible silence. No sound from the grave. No sign of Captain Friday. I crept to the grave's edge, and there was no one. The ghoul and Captain Friday had both vanished. Then I raced back to the cottage and found Phyllis just recovering consciousness and Dr. Tuner lying on the floor. Phyllis told me that old Clawfoot had broken into the cottage. I got her quieted and was just bringing Dr. Tuner around when old Mayor Friday came in. He accused me of doing away with his son, Captain Friday. And then suddenly I saw in his vest pocket a gold pencil. A pencil that his son had in his pocket when we left the cottage. His son's pencil in his pocket and fresh earth on the knees of his trousers. If anybody had done away with Captain Friday, it was his own father. And I said so right out in meeting.
Why, you young whippersnapper.
Now then, Mayor, now.
But I tell you, Doc Tuner...
Just a minute, Mayor, now. Just a minute till we sort of get this straight.
Well, I've got this thing straight, all right.
Now, Parker, you keep still till you're spoken to. Now, let me sort of sum up this thing and see if we can't find out what's the matter here.
Well, if any young squirt thinks he can accuse me of murder, he...
Well, you started it.
Quit it. You're both on edge and saying things you don't mean. As far as I'm concerned, neither of you is a murderer. We don't even know if Captain Friday's dead.
Well, he disappeared in a mighty queer way.
Now, wait a minute. Before we go a mite further, we're going to have a pot of black coffee. It's 4:00 and mighty black and miserable outside. Mayor, you go make the coffee. And Parker, you stir up the fire. It's getting a mite cold, 'pears like. I'm going to fix Miss Carroll here so she'll rest easier.
What is all this foolishness?
You go along now, Mayor Friday, and do what I tell you.
Well, you keep an eye on Parker.
Now, take care of Parker. You go make the coffee. And Parker, you do what I tell you. Go rake up the coals and put fresh wood on the fire.
Well, all right, but...
No, never mind about anything now, Parker. You go do as I say.
All right. But I think Mayor Friday's got a guilty conscience.
Well, now, ain't this a mess, Miss Carroll?
Oh, I'm so mixed up, Dr. Tuner. I don't know what it's all about anymore.
It is getting kind of complicated, ain't it? But you'll see. It'll come out all right.
You don't think Jimmy killed Captain Friday, do you?
Now then, Jimmy Parker's a nice boy, Miss Carroll. I don't reckon you've got much to worry about him.
And Mayor Friday's such a grouchy old man.
No, Miss Carroll, I reckon maybe you wouldn't say that if you'd known Mayor Friday as long time as I have. Now then, you sort of shift over so I can straighten this sheet under you. Careful of that shoulder. Uh-oh, did we hurt you?
Oh, it's all right.
You got your bed all torn up, shifting and turning. There, now that's better. I'll straighten the covers over you a bit. There. And if you need this extra blanket, you just sing out. How's the pillow?
It's very comfortable. Thank you, Dr. Tuner.
Good. Now I'm going to fix you up a real strong bit of sleeping medicine. Then when you've had your hot drink, you're going to get hot milk instead of coffee. You just slip off to sleep before you know it. Oh, Mayor,
What do you want?
warm up a glass of milk for Miss Carroll while you're about it.
All right.
There, that's a fire that'll last until morning.
Good. Here, Parker, hold this spoon for me. There, now I'll take it. Bring that glass of water from the table, will you? Now, Miss Carroll, you just swallow this spoonful of mixture and then take a drink of water.
Is it very bad? I'm not very good at taking medicine.
Oh, I don't reckon you'll even taste it. Here you go now.
Jimmy, give me that water quick.
Here, Phil.
Not so bad, was it, Miss Carroll?
Well, I've taken things I liked a lot better.
Here's the coffee and the hot milk.
All right, Miss Carroll. Now you sip this glass of milk while we're drinking our coffee.
Now, let's stop this monkey business and get back to important matters.
Now, Mayor, I was just thinking that none of us ain't quite so belligerent as we were a few minutes ago.
Well,
So I thought I'd sort of act as pacifier and sum up everything. Is that all right with the rest of you?
Yeah, all right with me.
go ahead, Doc.
Now, this is the thing as I see it. Captain Friday and Parker went out of the cottage when they heard old Clawfoot monkeying around. Before he went out, the captain locked you in the bedroom, Mayor. Said he didn't want to awaken you. Then he and Parker went out to the shed in back where they'd laid out that skeleton. And lo and behold, the skeleton was gone. But the skeleton had come apart and left a trail of bones. Captain Friday and Parker here followed this trail and found that it led down to Ernie Morton's grave.
Well, get along, Doc. We all know about that.
Well, I reckon I'll have to tell this my own way, Mayor. Now then, when they got down to the grave, blamed if there wasn't someone digging in it.
That's what Parker says.
Yes. So he and the captain dropped down behind a tombstone, and then Captain Friday insisted on creeping out to the grave alone. Well, Parker waited, and when he didn't hear any sound, he peeked out, and there wasn't a soul anyplace. That right, Parker?
Yeah.
Sounds dead-burn funny to me.
Now, never mind, Mayor. Well, back up here at the cottage, me and Miss Carroll were having our own trouble. Old Clawfoot broke in, clumped me over the head, and Miss Carroll fainted. But I'm getting a little ahead of my story. We got scared when we heard old Clawfoot, and I broke into your bedroom door, and there wasn't hiding her hair of you. We're still wondering, Mayor, how you got out of that room with the door locked and the windows barred the way they are.
Go on with your story, Doc.
Guess we're going to keep on wondering. Well, then we don't know what old Clawfoot wanted in the cottage here, 'cause he'd left before Miss Carroll came to.
What about the Black Pearl?
Now, I'm coming to that, Parker. It seems that just as Miss Carroll came to, Parker here ran into the house, saw how things was, quieted Miss Carroll, and brought me to. And then he announced that Captain Friday had vanished at old Ernie Morton's grave. We were all pretty worried. Mayor Friday had vanished, and so had his son. And then who should walk in on us but the mayor himself?
Ain't you never coming to the point,
I'm
Doc?
getting there, Mayor. I'm getting there. The thing is, you accuse Parker of doing away with your son. Then right on that, I happened to reach under Miss Carroll's pillow to sort of straighten it out for her, and what do I pull out but one of the black pearls? One of the Theodore Beverly black pearls, supposed to be buried somewhere in the city of the dead.
Old Clawfoot left it, I tell you.
Well, Parker here claims that Clawfoot left the pearl when he raided the place. Mayor Friday thinks that his son and Parker discovered the hiding place of the pearls, and Parker killed Captain Friday so he could have the loot for himself. The mayor thinks that after doing away with the captain, Parker brought one of the pearls here to show Miss Carroll, and then hid it under her pillow. Parker denies this, and so does Miss Carroll. Don't you, Miss Carroll? Oh, the sleeping mixture's worked. She's gone off like a lamb. Well, that's good. She needs the rest.
Poor little Phyllis.
Well, to go on with our story, suddenly Parker here lets out a yell and says he reckons the mayor himself knows what became of Captain Friday. He points to a gold pencil in the mayor's vest pocket, and he says it belonged to Captain Friday. He had it with him when they went out of the house together earlier this evening. Likewise, he points out that the mayor has fresh earth on the knees of his trousers. Now, that's how things stack up to this point. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, what do you got to say to Parker's accusations, Mayor?
Nothing. Except that the boy is a lunatic.
Now, Mayor, ain't you going to explain how you came by your son's pencil? It is the captain's pencil, ain't it?
Yes, I reckon.
Well, ain't you going to tell us how you got it, Mayor?
Don't mind. Parker's simply mistaken. My son loaned me the pencil this morning, and I forgot to return it. That's all.
You mean the captain didn't have the pencil when he went out this evening?
That's what I'm saying, Doc.
That's not the truth, and you know it's not.
Are you calling me a liar, Parker?
I'm sorry, but I reckon he's got a right to in this instance, Mayor.
What do you mean, Doc?
I mean, Mayor, that I was using that gold pencil myself just before we went to bed tonight, and I returned it to Captain Friday along about 10 o'clock. You couldn't have had it, Mayor.
Yeah.
Well, what about it, Mayor?
Boy must have 2 gold pencils then.
I see. You still stick to your story, then?
Of course. Why shouldn't I? It's the truth.
Well, what about the earth on your trousers?
I was down on my knees several times looking for tracks tonight.
But that's freshly dug earth, Mayor Friday.
Yeah, quite a detective, ain't you, Parker?
And what about the Black Pearl, Dr. Tuner? You're not going to let Mayor Friday keep that. Doesn't belong to him. It's part of Phyllis's estate.
Oh, I reckon the mayor will take good care of it, Parker.
I'd rather have you keep it, Dr. Tuner.
Don't be a fool, boy. The pearls are safe with Mayor Friday as it is with me.
Well, come on, Parker. There's been enough foolishness.
What do you mean?
You heard me say I was going to lock you up, didn't you?
Yeah, but look here.
Shh. Listen to that. The phantom church bell's ringing again, Mayor.
What of it? I'm getting so used to it, I don't pay no attention to it no more.
Just the same, it's ringing, and I don't like it.
Anyway, that don't affect you, Parker. Come on.
Now, Mayor, be sort of reasonable.
You leave me be, Doc. I know what I'm about.
Well, where you going to put him, Mayor? Ain't many good lock-up places left in this house.
Put him in his bedroom, of course.
Don't reckon that'd help much, since the feller sawed the bars off his window the other night.
Well, and I'll put him in the girls' room.
Sorry, Mayor, but I busted in the door, as you can see.
Well, what in tarnation will I do with him then?
Now, look here, Mayor. Let the boy alone. He ain't going to run off while the girl's sick of bed here.
I ain't so much afeard of his running away.
Well, what is it, then?
He's liable to treat the rest of us just as he done my son.
Now, Mayor, you don't believe young Parker here killed the captain. You know you don't believe that.
Listen. There's the clawfoot.
Nasty brute. He drools and sucks his teeth all the while. I saw that much before he knocked me out.
I wouldn't mind the whole business half so much if it wasn't for him. It makes my flesh creep.
How was he dressed, Dr. Tuner? Did he still have on those flowing white robes?
I reckon he had his robe on all right, Parker. And his bare, hairy shanks were sticking out below.
There, huh? Did you notice his feet, Doc? Did you see if he did have claw feet?
No, Mayor. I reckon I was too busy watching the knife in his hand to pay much attention to his feet.
The bell. That phantom church bell.
Yeah, it seems to be an almighty lot of action down in the city of the dead tonight. Though who ever heard of corpses rising from their graves at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Dark as the inside of a cow.
Shh. Did you hear that?
Hear what, Parker?
I heard footsteps on the porch. Listen.
The whole phantom company of the old abandoned graveyard seems to be rising up at this dark hour to take part in the mystery of the city of the dead. The phantom church bell tolls. Old Clawfoot wails among the tombstones. And now the approach of stealthy footsteps outside the cottage. If the sinister figure of violence is coming... But wait.
Do you hear it?
Now, who in Tunket?
Can't see a thing out the window. Darker than pitch black.
Reckon it's Clawfoot, Mayor.
How should I know?
Not unless he's put on shoes.
Listen.
What's he doing anyway? Patrolling our front porch? Hey, you carrying a gun, Mayor?
Yeah, I sure am, and I'm going to throw open the door.
Now, be careful, Mayor. You got a light to your back. He's got you at a disadvantage.
Put out the light.
It won't do no good. The light from the fireplace is just as bad.
Well, I'm going to chance it.
Careful, Mayor.
Ain't nothing out here, Doc.
Well, it's just as well, Mayor. Come on back in and shut the door.
Dang funny. There must have been something out there besides just them footsteps.
Yeah, of course there was, but...
Shh. Listen.
There they are again.
That's strange. Old Clawfoot never pulled anything like this before.
I still want to know when he put on shoes.
Of course it's Clawfoot. Who else could it be?
I don't know. Besides, Clawfoot always wailed before when he was around.
Well, we heard wailing back a bit.
Yeah, but that was way off. You haven't heard a sound since the footsteps began.
Shh, listen.
I'm going to find out about this, Dod Rodham.
Now, wait a minute, Mayor. I wouldn't go out there again.
Of course I'm going out. Here, give me that flashlight.
And if you're going out, Mayor, so am I.
Well, come on. Nobody's keeping you.
Just the same, I think we hadn't ought to go.
Do as you like. I'm going.
See, as soon as you touch that latch, the footsteps stop. You see anything, Mayor?
No. Porch is empty. Hello. Look there, Doc.
By gum, a sack of something.
Now, where did that come from, do you suppose?
I reckon our visitor left it for us. A gunny sack or something or other.
Yeah. It ain't so very heavy.
No, tied up. What do you suppose it is? Come on, Mayor, bring it into the house.
What have you got there, Mayor?
Shut the door, will you, Doc? Found this sack out on the porch just now, Parker. Put the chain on, Doc.
Yep.
What is it?
Don't know yet.
Say, do you suppose it's the rest of the black pearls?
By jiggers, Mayor.
Hand me the knife on the table there, Doc. We'll soon find out.
Here you are, Mayor.
If it is the pearls, remember they belong to Phyllis and no one else.
You stand back, young fella. This is none of your affair.
It is my affair. I'm here to see that Phyllis gets what's coming to her.
You'll both get what's coming to you before this thing's settled.
I reckon you two better stop glaring at each other. Now, Mayor, go on. Cut that sack open.
And make him stand back.
Come on, Parker. Be a sensible chap.
Well, I'm going to see what's in that sack.
Well, of course you are. What is it, Mayor? What's in the sack?
If I ever catch the fella that done
A
this.
sack of bones.
The skeleton. Our skeleton's back with us again.
Somebody is playing tricks on me, and I ain't going to have it.
Hey, but look. Up there around its neck. It's back with another message.
Jiminy, Mayor. Look there.
Yeah. Printed, just like the other one.
Yeah? Listen to this. For 20 years, I've been resting uneasy in the grave of Theodore Beverly because it is not my grave and I do not belong in it. The bones that belong in Theodore Beverly's grave lie at this moment in the burned ruins of Lammy Fink's cabin.
What's that, Doc?
That's what it says.
What does it mean?
I reckon it means, for one thing, that Theodore Beverly is dead.
Well, I'm glad to know that anyway.
Glad? What do you mean by that, Parker?
Well, to tell the truth, Dr. Tuner, I've had a hunch all along that old Clawfoot might be Phyllis's grandfather, Theodore Beverly.
Hey, now, come to think about it, I reckon I've had about the same idea in the back of my mind.
Would have been terrible for Phyllis. They've never known for sure whether her grandfather was dead.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on just a minute. I wonder if this message means that one of them 3 bodies that was burned up in Lammy's cabin was that of old man Beverly.
I don't see how it could be. We know the caretaker, Lammy Fink, and Parker here identified the other as Miss Carroll's cousin, Bert Arnold.
But there was a third body.
No, that couldn't have been Theodore Beverly. It was too young a man.
Then there must have been a 4th body in the cabin when it burned.
Now, I'll swear there wasn't.
And if this skeleton's telling the truth, Beverly must have been one of the 3.
Well, he wasn't.
You know, we ain't under any obligations to believe these here messages from the grave, as it were. Somebody may be just sending them to throw us off the track.
I don't believe it, Doctor. There's something behind these notes. Someone's trying to warn us about something.
All fired unpleasant way of doing it.
It's someone with a horrible, morbid complex. I've read about people with queer fetishes, fixed ideas, and all that. This looks to me like the work of someone with a graveyard complex. A morbid fascination for skeletons.
I reckon he's morbid, all right, whoever he is.
Yeah, that bell's ringing more tonight than any time yet.
And every time it's rung, something's happened.
Oh, I reckon not every time, Parker.
It seems like it. There, do you hear that?
Clawfoot, eh?
Yeah, didn't I tell you? The bell rings and then Clawfoot begins to wail.
I reckon that thing'd wail, bell or no bell.
Well, just the same, that bell's getting on my nerves. I wish it would hurry and get light.
Not for another half hour yet. Shh.
What's the matter, Dr. Tuner?
I thought I heard something in your room, Parker. Listen.
Oh, don't hear nothing, Doc. Reckon you was mistaken.
Maybe so, Mayor, but I'm sure I heard something, though.
But how could anyone get into my room?
Well, somebody could climb in between those sawed-off bars on your window.
What did it sound like, Doc?
You remember I told you how Clawfoot sniveled and drooled?
Yeah.
Sounded just like that.
Maybe Clawfoot is back in the house again. Listen. There's Clawfoot wailing outside. It can't be him.
Yeah, likely it was my imagination.
Yeah, I reckon it was, Doc. But just the same, I'm going to take a look in there.
Well, I'll go along just in case.
Got the flashlight?
Yes.
Shall I come?
I reckon 2's enough. You stay with the girl.
Well, are you coming?
Yep.
It's got the mare. It's got the mare. Parker, come here.
I saw it, Doc. Just as the mayor opened the door, a hand reached out and jerked him into the bedroom.
And it slammed the door right in my face and locked it.
You're sure the door's locked?
Yes, of course I am. Do something. Do something. We've got to save him if we can.
Break down the door.
That's it. Grab that chair.
Stand back, Doc. Get away from the door.
That's it. Harder, Parker. Here, let me do it.
Stand back. I almost got it that time. It's giving.
Hit her lower down. There she goes. We got her that time.
And we've awakened Phyllis.
Well, come on. She'll be all right.
Look, there's the mare. Turn your flash over there in the corner.
Murder.
No, he's not. Look, he's sitting up. Mayor, Mayor Friday, who was it? What happened?
Oh, he choked me.
Are you all right, Mayor? Are you hurt?
Oh, he tried to wring my neck. Here, help me up.
Who was it strangled you? How'd he get away?
I don't know. Went out through the window when you started battering the door, whoever he was.
Yeah. Can you stand?
Yes, I reckon so.
Well, you don't need me. I'm going to Phyllis.
Yeah, I'll bring the mayor.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what's happened? Oh, what's the matter now?
Phyllis, you mustn't cry like that. I'm all right. Look, Phil, here I am.
Oh, Jimmy, what was that noise?
It wasn't anything, Phil. Really, it wasn't.
But look, what's the matter with Mayor Friday?
Why, he just slipped and hurt himself.
Oh, Jimmy, you're not telling me the truth.
Now, Miss Carroll, don't you go to getting excited. The mayor's all right.
Yeah, my neck feels as big as a barrel. Being strangled ain't no picnic.
Strangled? Did somebody try to strangle the mayor?
Oh, Phil, please, it wasn't anything. Really, it wasn't, Phil.
No, not anything. Well, I reckon you won't say that when I tell you that feller got your precious black pearl.
The pearl?
What's that? You let him have the pearl, Mayor Friday?
I didn't let him have it. He took it.
Well, I swan. Got it, did he? Went right through your pockets, did he, Mayor?
Held me by the throat with one hand and lifted the pearl out of my vest pocket with the other.
Who was it, Jimmy? Who did it?
We don't know.
Oh, I can't stand any more of this.
Well, it wasn't Clawfoot. We've been hearing him outside.
No, it wasn't Clawfoot.
Look.
He had on dark clothes.
Dawn's beginning to break. Look, Phil, you can see it through the windows.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Just the same, I'd like to know who got a hold of that black pearl. How did the person know about it in the first place? None of us had a chance to talk with anyone on the outside since it was found.
That's an idea, Parker.
And more than that, how did this burglar know that the mayor had the pearl? There's something mighty queer here.
A lot of queer things, that's a fact.
And another queer thing. In spite of the fact that Mayor Friday claims he was choked until his neck felt like a barrel and he could hardly breathe, have you noticed there wasn't a mark any place on his neck?
Look here, Parker. I guess that's just about the limit.
Now, Mayor.
You're an old medical man, Doctor. I ask you, does the mayor's neck look as though he'd been choked?
Look, you blasted young smart aleck. You keep on sticking that snoot of yours into other folks' business and watch what happens.
You're afraid to let Doc examine your throat. You know as well as I do that you weren't choked. So does Dr. Tuner here.
Now, don't include me in your fracases.
Are you going to let Dr. Tuner examine you?
Well, if it means so dad-burned much, yes. I'll let him look at my neck. Come on out in the kitchen, Doc.
Why out in the kitchen? Let him examine it right here in front of me.
Look here. Who you ordering around? Whose house is this?
I guess we've just about got you cornered, Mayor. Nothing left to defend yourself with but a lot of hot air and bluster.
No, but after all, Parker, both you and me saw that hand reach out and jerk the mayor into the bedroom. We both saw that.
Maybe there was a hand. Maybe there really was someone in the bedroom. But if there was, the fellow was a friend of the mayor's.
Now, Parker, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would, and I say it again. Maybe you're in on it, Dr. Tuner, and maybe you're not. But whether you are or not, Mayor Friday knows what it's all about.
Yes, that's right, Parker. I know a good many things. Too much for your own safety.
Well, I've used my eyes, and I can tell you, Mayor Friday, I've picked up a few things of my own. When the showdown comes, I'm not going to be tongue-tied either.
Oh, Jimmy, please don't quarrel. I'm so tired I can't even cry anymore. I just lie here and ache.
Poor little Phil. This has been an awful night for you.
Rub your hand over my head, Jimmy. My face is so hot.
Of course I will.
Oh, that feels so good. Your hands are cool, Jimmy. So nice and cool.
There. I'll try to relax.
The church bell, Jimmy. Do you hear it? The phantom church bell.
There, Phyllis.
That medicine I gave her a while back is strong enough to put her to sleep again, Parker.
I think she's drifting off. She's going back to sleep in spite of herself.
Jimmy, dear.
Yes, Phil?
Jimmy, dear, will you please go to the window and see if it isn't almost light? I think I could go to sleep if it wasn't so dark.
Of course, I'll go to the window. Should be getting light. The night is beginning to break up, Phil. It isn't near as dark as it was. I can see the shapes of trees down as far as the edge of the road.
It's getting light. It's getting light. Now I can sleep. Oh, Jimmy, I'm so tired.
Yes, in another 15 minutes, Dawn will be down here in the City of the Dead.
Shh, Parker. She's dropped off. She's gone back to sleep.
My gosh, Doc! Clawfoot's right outside the house.
Clawfoot?
Yes, I see him moving among the trees, just his outline, but I couldn't miss him.
Where? I don't see him.
Watch over there by that big pine. See? Do you see him?
Yes, I see him. See him there?
Sure.
My gosh, Doc. Look. Look right behind him. Do you see it?
Something's crawling after Clawfoot.
Something's stalking Clawfoot. Watch. Watch, he's going to leap. It's a man. It's a man. He's got Clawfoot. He's got Clawfoot.
Look, he's handling him like a baby. Can you see who it is?
No. No, it's too dark. Look, he's got him gagged. He's picking him up on his arms. He's kidnapping Clawfoot. He's kidnapping Clawfoot.
The story of Theodore Beverly's priceless black pearls is whirling into a great seething cauldron of sinister activity. Captain Friday vanishes. Old Clawfoot kidnapped. Old Mayor Friday lying right and left like a cornered pirate. And the phantom church bell. Where is it? What makes it ring so persistently? All these get further explanation next week when Carlton E. Morse Productions brings you another episode in Adventures by Morse. Listen for Chapter 9 of The City of the Dead, entitled The Trail of the Phantom Church Bell.